What's up, everybody? Michael, the Unseen Addict here. As you can see, I'm driving down the road. I live on the Tennessee-Georgia line, so I'm headed down to the gas station in Georgia to buy cigarettes because a carton is about $10 cheaper in Georgia than it is in Tennessee. So, I just wanted to stop in. I thought every so often I may do a story time. So, I figured today would be a good day to do a story time. And, you know, some of them will be good, some of them will be bad, some will be about recovery, and some of them will be about active addiction. The story I'm going to tell you about today is about active addiction. But on a side note, I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody is comfortable living positive. I hope everybody's in recovery, and if not, I'm hoping that you will be soon, when the time is right for you, when you're not forced, but when you're ready. So let's get to the story. Okay, so here was how my addiction went. I had a really good job. I ran my father's towing company, and I worked a lot of hours. So instead of stealing and stuff like that, you know, I just worked all the time. You know, I would use to stay motivated and keep going, and I would spend all of my money, all of my wife's money, all of anybody's money that was around me. No, I didn't steal it from them. They gave it to me, but I still used it on stuff I wasn't supposed to. So if you want to call that stealing, I guess you can. Excuse me. So what I would do is I never had been arrested or anything, and I never had been in any trouble. So what I did was I decided to, instead of driving down to Georgia, that's where I always bought my drugs, I would buy large amounts at a time. And as in large amounts, I would buy anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 worth at a time, which, when you're buying pain pills, that's really not that many when you're having to buy Opana like I was using. So I would drive down to the Georgia line and buy my pain pills from a few bars down there, and I would buy $1,500 to $3,000 worth at a time. And the reason is because I refused to get my kids out and take them down to those parts of towns. I would not want to drive around with that amount in my car. So I would buy a lot at one time so that I didn't have to drive around with that amount in my car multiple times of the day, and I wouldn't have to drag my kids out or my wife, and I could just, and when you're buying that much, you know, a lot of times the dealer will meet you just about anywhere you want to meet, instead of, you know, you following him around and going where he wants you to go. So I would go and I would buy the amount, and then I would come home and I would stash it. And I would always go to places that doesn't look like a drug house, so that if the cops were watching me, you know, they wouldn't be watching me at a place like that, is what I'm trying to say. And so I called my guy, because like I told you before, I had to go through somebody to go to a dealer, because the guy I was going through would use me to support his habit and not let me get a one-on-one relationship with the dealers. So I called him, and yeah, I kind of felt funny at the beginning. So I called him and I said, "Hey man, I need to buy, you know, $2,600 worth." He was like, "Okay, cool, meet me at this place. I said, "Well, I'm 2 hours away right now because I'm working still, and I will let you know when I'm getting close." He goes, "Oh, okay then." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, whatever. Maybe I'm just exaggerating or nervous." So, I get to where I'm going, Okay, and sorry about the lighting, guys. I mean, I know this is freaking ridiculous, the lighting in here right now because of the sun, but... So, I get to the place, and he doesn't want me to meet him where we normally meet. He wants me to meet him down the road, so I'm kind of like... that's weird. So I met him at the place, and I handed him the $2,600, and he said, alright, well, I'm going to run down here, pick it up, and I'll be right back. And I said, okay. And he goes, how many are you letting me keep myself? And I was like, I don't know. I said, we'll talk about that whenever you get back. Well, I drive down the road, and I see him get out of the car and go into the place. And then I drive back, because I just gave the dude $2,600, and I don't really want him out of my sight. So then I see him go to the other location, and I'm like, well, what's this dude doing? You know, something's not right. So, next thing you know, I don't hear from him for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, it don't take 10 minutes to do this. I get a phone call from him, and he's all acting, you can tell he's acting, he's shaky and all this stuff, and he's like, dude, somebody just robbed me, and I'm like, you're lying. You're lying to me, and I just got took for $2,600. Well, I knew he was lying to me, but anyways, so what does an addict do? I go to the freaking bank and get some more money out. Like an idiot. So, call him, and I'm like, hey man, meet me back down at the spot. So, this time I said, I'm going with you. We're doing this together. I don't care what you say. This is how it's going to be. Well, he knew if he wanted any drugs, that he would have to let it happen. So, the dealer comes. He gets in the car. I'm handing him the money. I was getting, I think it was like $1,500 this time I was getting. So I hand him the money, and then all of a sudden I feel just a crack in the back of my head, like just a hard hit to the back of my head. Well, I'm a little bit dazed and everything, and kind of look around, and I see this guy grabbing money out of my hand, and then I see him grabbing the 30 something pills out of my hand. So I'm thinking, man, ain't this some crap, dude? I'm getting robbed for, you know, all of my drugs that I just bought. Getting robbed for money and everything, and so me and the dealer both are getting robbed. So the first thing I do is I grab my pistol and I take off running. I'm gonna chase him. I fire off 2 rounds in the air like an idiot, and he keeps running, and he gets away with my money, and so on and so forth. So I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'm not gonna catch this freaking crackhead. So stop, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't gonna work, I'm not gonna catch him. Well, I look at my buddy, and he's like, man, you just lost, you know, that's $4,200 in one day. And I said, yeah, and I think you're setting me up. He goes, man, I would never do that to you. Well, the dealer that was with me in the car said, man, he set you up. He was beating himself in the head before we came and met, to have a mark on his head so that he could show you. And I was like, I knew it. This same guy had gotten me for probably $5,000 altogether. But when you're an addict, you're so sad in life that you'll do whatever it takes to have your dope. And that's just the sad reality. But that's just a little story I had to go through. Yeah, there's a lot more details to it, but I'm not going to get into those because then I'll have to say names, and, you know, I'm going to snitch. So, But I hope you all have a great day, and I will be making another video soon. And remember, if you need any help trying to find a location to go to recovery, or a clinic, a methadone clinic, Suboxone, if you're looking for a Suboxone or Subutex doctor, you just let me know and I will do whatever it takes to help you. Also, I'm going to put a link in the description for donations. If you want to make any donations to the channel, I'm going to try to start helping people at recovery locations. If I have to pay for their daily dose of methadone or whatever, I'm going to try to help as much as I can. So if you want to send donations, I'm going to put it down in the description below. And have a great day, guys. See ya.